Look at this. Look at this. Look at all that. Scott Brown here. Today I'm going to show you how I do tricky little plywood joints like this. You can hear the cicadas already. So this little cable here goes to an alarm that's outside, and I want to put the ply on top of that. So I'm just dropping it so I can get the ply right down to the beam. Now that that is cut, let's do the tester. This is when I wish I had a cameraman. All right. Let me explain how I made this fit. The key is geometry, triangles and rectangles. Let's do it on this side where I'm going to cut another piece very similar. So this angle here is the offcut of that first sheet, and I originally got it with this angle finder here. So I basically got a plumb line and put this angle finder against it and adjusted it till it matched the roof pitch. And that's how I found the angle. Yep, always double check of course. So the next stage is adding these checkouts. Now the easiest way to think about it is like shapes. This is a triangle, imagine it going all the way to a point, and then these are two rectangles attached to it. You know, this is a relatively, it looks complicated, but it's a relatively easy thing in that it's straight and square. That's the key to doing a complicated shape. Finding plumb lines, finding level lines, and finding areas that are square. So that's what we want, and that's what we got so far. That's the thickness of the timber that we're checking around, and that'll be the top point. I took a very deliberate cut out of this here, and I'll show you exactly what that is for. That is for this and this. I'm going to notch them from this side so the full sheet is uninterrupted. Now, I made these marks here, I don't know if you can see them. These marks here, where those timbers come through, and I just transfer it onto the piece here. I made a mistake. So this here is nice and tidy around the purlins. That's great, I'm happy with that. Now I've realized the mistake I made when I measured that piece that I cut off, that thin strip, and realized that it was narrower than this space. Now how did that happen? Well, back when I measured that first cutout from the apex, I measured it from the top of the sheet up here. And I should have measured it from here. I got that 148 there, transferred it up there, and it brought everything that way. And that's why you've got this gap here. Now this is too skinny to go in here. So yeah, this video is meant to be me teaching you how to do tricky plywood cutouts, and I can't even do it myself. It really is like a jigsaw puzzle. Shout out to one of my favorite YouTube channels, Finalizing Carpentry Ltd, for sending me the glue. I mentioned it previously, but I'll thank him as many times as I can because I'm a big fan and I appreciate him sending the glue. Shot, Richard. Alright. Here we go. Solid. This bit, boom, and little triangles in the corner. I'm going to do those little pieces now and then we're going to do a scriber plywood right about now. Look at this around the door. Tidy, tidy. That's that end done. And now the tricky part. I think the secret here is to cut the sheet a little bit wider than it needs to be. And just scribe it like any other scriber. Alright, the moment of glory, or the moment of failure. I'm going to pop this thing in and it better fit. Oh, can't beat that. See that little mark there? That's where the board was after I scribed it. So I put a mark there and a mark there, and then I measured from the mark to this sheet that's already on the wall, and that's how I knew how much to take off the scribed piece. Look at that. See the daylight between the skirting and the wall there? See the skirting has a groove on the back of it. That means when you have a cut in that just finishes, you'll see the groove, which is why we do this to it. It's a little return. So that return there is part of me finishing this. As you can see, this wall is done all the way up to the roof. Skirting down, I had to do the return there as well. Now all I've got to do is this corner here. And I thought it'd be a good one to show you, because we have to do a couple of little tricks to make it work. The skirting here in New Zealand is quite often single bevel, 10mm with a slight bevel on the top. So when you butt into a corner, you got this bevel up there. So you don't just want to butt it in and that's it. That wouldn't look the best. And you can do internal miters, but internal miters tend to open up and separate over time. The heel of the miter often separates. So what we do is this. You imagine this being an internal corner. Voila! And the top still has your miter. So that's what I'm doing in this internal corner here. Tell you what, for the first couple of years of my apprenticeship, that's the only coping I ever did. There you go. Boom. So the stop end is kind of similar. The hiding of the end grain. It's done in a very similar way. So there is your rough end with the groove on the back and the end grain. Then you just put this little slither on here, and there we go. Coped in for the internal corner, and your nice little return to finish the stop end. Okay, that's it, we're done. The next episode is episode 200. We're not going to make a big fanfare out of it like episode 100, because that was the goal that year. But I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not excited that we've made it to episode 200. Another milestone. came across a subscriber. How's it going?
Sure,
Ethan?
pretty good. Yep.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Ethan was just driving past, saw the van, the very noticeable van, and stopped and said hello. It's fun when that happens.